Hello, my name is Kristi, and I'm an associate at the Wadsworth Public Library. And one of my favorite types of books, especially during the holidays, are fiction books that read like a Hallmark movie. Saying it's like a Hallmark movie is really the best way I can describe it. The books are lighter reads, they contain romance, but without the graphic details and love scenes. They are books that can take you to another time and place, books that you can escape into and be finished in a day or two. Because I know I'm not the only one that loves these types of books, I have put together 5 of my favorite books that read like a Hallmark movie. Now, not all of these are quite like a Hallmark movie, but you get that type of feeling when you read them. I will review the books with no spoilers, and at the end of the video, I will share how you can borrow these books for free from the library. Mistletoe and Mr Wright by Sarah Morgenthaler is a book about Rick and Lana. This is the second in a series of Moose Springs, Alaska books by Morgenthaler, but you don't have to read them in order. The first is titled The Tourist Attraction, and the third is yet to be released. Rick and Lana are one of those couples that on paper should never work. He's a small town Alaska guy, shy, owns a pool hall, is struggling financially, and was burned badly by his ex. She's an uber-rich corporate executive that oozes confidence and wants to open this little town to the jet-setters of the world. But when you start to peel away the layers and Rick and Lana begin to reveal to one another who they really are at the core, well, you get it. It's Christmas and anything is possible. I had so much fun reading this book. The quirky characters, the townies versus outsiders push and pull. The town itself is refreshing and heartwarming. If you ever watched Northern Exposure on television in the 90s, the town in this book, Moose Springs, has the same vibe. Lana and Rick both ended up being more complex than I expected. Also, more fun and funny. I really enjoyed them together. Their sweetness, their humor, their kindness, the endearing awkwardness, and their shared love for Moose Springs was just great. In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. In a Holidays is a time travel romantic comedy featuring a group of old college friends and their grown children who visit a cabin in Utah every year. The main character, May, is in her late 20s and re-examining some of the choices she's made in her life. At the end of the holiday, she suffers a bump on the head and finds herself back on the plane on her way to the cabin on the 20th of December. This keeps repeating, and as in the movie Groundhog Day, she finds she can change things, take different roads, and shape her future. I love how it is a holiday book without feeling heavy-handed. Other than the title and a moment of Christmas tree decorating and opening presents, there wasn't too much holiday to this novel, so it really could be read any time of year or whenever you're in the mood for a bit of holiday cheer. I could see myself picking this up anytime during the year and enjoying it just as well. If you're looking for a holiday romance that won't give you a cavity, this is the one. One Day in December by Josie Silver. Lori is pretty sure love at first sight doesn't exist anywhere but in the movies. But then, through a misted up bus window one snowy December day, she sees a man and she knows instantly that this is the one. Their eyes meet, there's a moment of pure magic, and then the bus drives away. Certain they're fated to find each other again, Lori spends a year scanning every bus stop and cafe in London for him. But she doesn't find him. Not when it matters anyway. Instead, they reunite at a Christmas party when her best friend Sarah giddily introduces her new boyfriend to Lori. It's Jack, the man from the bus. My favorite quote from a review of this book reads, "If Love Actually met sliding doors and became a novel influenced by Jojo Moyes, you'd have One Day in December." There's just something about Christmas and the UK that is a recipe for modern rom-coms that will have you running for the mistletoe. It's a charming story about love and serendipity for the hopeless romantic in all of us. A Dog's Perfect Christmas by W. Bruce Cameron. The Goss family is like so many of us. Life is hard, but when the holidays arrive, everything seems to be worse. The family is dealing with everyday difficulties when a true emergency hits the family, leaving everyone at loose ends. But in comes a ball of fluff that makes everything better and brings out the love of the family that they have for each other and their dog. A Dog's Perfect Christmas is a tonic for what ails us this holiday season. 2020 has been rough. It's a story of family and love, of new hope and a wriggling little puppy. It's a beautiful and moving novel, a very sweet read for the holiday season to remind us that is the little things that make life special. This last selection is not quite a Hallmark movie book, but I couldn't help but add it on the list as it is a fantastic holiday read. It is A Wild Winter Swan by Gregory Maguire. It's a retelling of Hans Christian Andersen's The Wild Swans. Maguire is well known for his take on classic literature, including Wicked, a Wizard of Oz retelling, Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister, a Cinderella retelling, and After Alice, an Alice in Wonderland retelling. A Wild Winter Swan is a coming-of-age story about Laura. Laura's life is turned upside down when she goes to live with her grandparents in New York City, where she finds a swan boy with a broken wing. As Christmas Day is coming soon, her grandparents are desperately trying to fix up their house and create a delicious meal for someone they hope to invest in their business. But the hidden swan boy is looming upstairs in Laura's room as she is trying to nurse him back to health, and then everything starts to go wrong. While I was not familiar with the story The Wild Swans, I was still able to enjoy the tale of Hans and Laura as a retelling of the classic fairy tale. At times, A Wild Winter Swan feels less like a fantasy novel and more like a family drama with elements of magical realism. Maguire explores themes of class, isolation, family, and the dangerous yearning to be saved by a power greater than ourselves. It's a beautiful tale of magical realism that illuminates one young woman's heartbreak and hope as she begins the inevitable journey into adulthood. I hope you enjoyed the reviews of my guilty pleasure Hallmark movie Readalikes. If you're interested in checking out any of these materials, you can give us a call at 330-334-5761 or visit us at wadsworthlibrary.com. These items are also available on our free apps, Hoopla and Libby. If you're unfamiliar with using Hoopla or Libby, you can watch our YouTube tutorial videos for more information. I hope you have a happy holiday season, and thank you for using the Wadsworth Public Library.